Hello Year 2 and welcome back to your online home learning. I'm here to join you for computing this afternoon, so I'm going to share my screen and we'll get going. Okay, here we are. Hopefully you can see what I can see. So today in computing, we are learning to experiment taking photographs using a digital camera. Okay, now to start off with, just like we did last time, we're going to look at an internet safety scenario, and there are going to be three options of what you think you should do. So you join a website with lots of cool games on it, but first you need to fill in a form giving your name, phone number and home address. Do you A, fill in with some fake details, B, fill it in, or C, don't fill it in and ask for an adult's advice? So pause the video here and just have a think about which one of those you think you should do. Okay, so the answer is to not fill it in and ask an adult for advice. It's really important that we don't share our personal information over the internet. Even if you think it's a safe website, it might not be. Okay, and just another quick revisiting question before we start our learning today. So hopefully you'll remember what the unit of learning is that we're doing this term. We are learning to be photographers. So I wonder if you can remember, what is a photographer? What is the job of a photographer? Okay, so a photographer is a person who takes photographs or who takes pictures. Okay, now last time we had a look at some key words and we went through what each of them mean. So I wonder, just going to go through each of them, if you can remember what any of these words mean. The first word is camera, image, Picasa, pixel, portfolio and theme. Okay, pause the video and just have a think about what you think each of those words mean. Okay, we'll start from the top. So a camera is an instrument used to take or record pictures of people or objects. An image is a picture of something produced by a device. Picasa is a software application for organising and editing photographs. Pixel is a single point in a picture. Every pixel is a colour, and all of the pixels together create a picture. A portfolio is a collection of photographs, and a theme is a topic of learning. Okay, well done if you remembered what some of those words mean. Okay, now during this unit, just as a little bit of a reminder, we are going to be learning to use a digital camera or a camera app. We're going to be learning to take digital photographs, to review and evaluate photographs taken, and to edit and enhance our photographs. Okay, so I wonder if you can remember what our theme for this term is. So we know that our unit of learning is to be photographers, but can you remember the theme of learning? What are we going to be taking photographs of? Okay, so our theme is shape. So hopefully you've had an opportunity last week to explore some of those shape pictures and try and find some different photographs where you can see shapes within them. Okay, so before we get how we're going to complete our learning intention today, I want you to see how many devices you can name that have a digital camera built into them. Because some of us might not have a digital camera at home, which is absolutely fine. You may have other devices that have a digital camera into them. So have a little think before I share my ideas. Okay, so I've made a little list here. Hopefully you might have made your own little list as well. So on my list, I have laptop, iPad, tablet, smartphone. You might have a digital camera, a security camera. Some of you may have a security camera outside your home or inside your home, and a webcam. A webcam you often get on a computer. Okay, so those are just a few ideas, but you may have been able to think of even more than that. Okay, so just a little bit of information for you. Inside each of these devices, there is a computer chip containing millions of tiny sensors. These sensors measure the amount of light falling onto them and store this information as a number. The numbers from these sensors become the pixels, or another word for pixels is picture elements of the image. Each pixel is made up of 3 numbers, usually between 0 and 255, and each pixel represents a colour as a combination of red, green and blue light. You might see that written as RGB. Up to 16 million different colours can be represented in this way. So as you can see here, I've just put a photograph here. All of these different blocks of colour, they are all pixels. So every picture is made up of all of these pixels. Okay, so looking at your task for today then, you're going to just take some time today to experiment with a digital camera. Now, as I said, this doesn't have to be a digital camera. This could be a smartphone or a tablet. Okay, so it's just a device that has a digital camera built into it, or if you do have a digital camera, you could use that. I want you to experiment with the different settings, with the buttons, if there are any, and I want you to find out what they do. Okay, so some of them you might be able to take different photographs. So if you're looking on a smartphone, there are quite a few different settings of different styles of photographs you can take. Or if you're looking on a digital camera, there's lots of different buttons to explore. Now you can take pictures of anything you like today. We're not going to be focusing on our theme. I just want you to focus on exploring the camera and all of the different things you can do with the camera. And you're going to focus on 3 techniques, 3 things I want you to work on to make sure that you can take a good photograph before we start taking photographs related to shape. So I want you to focus on the skill of focusing properly. Now, if you're using a digital camera, there's a button at the top that you press to take the photo. Sometimes you might need to press that a couple of times to get the picture in focus so it's not blurry before you take the photo. If you're using a phone or even a tablet, sometimes if you tap the screen, that will make sure the picture is in focus for you. So just a couple of different ways that you can make sure the picture is not blurry, is focused. Keeping the device steady, that's really important. Whether you're holding a camera, or a tablet or a smartphone, keeping the device steady. Now, if you find your hands are wobbling, you can try and rest it on a table so that you don't have to hold it in the air. It's a little bit easier to rest it on something if you find that tricky. And ensuring the subject is well lit. So make sure that you turn the lights on before you take the photographs of whatever you're taking it of. Now you can take photographs outside if you want to, or you can take them inside the house of whatever you want to take photos of. Now I've got a few top tips as another little thing to practice when you're taking photographs. So just a few things to be aware of. Frame your shots carefully. So have a good look about everything you want in your photograph. Okay, and make sure that you don't have anything that you don't want to be in there, framing it carefully. Get to know what your camera can do to take photos. So again, look at those buttons, look at those settings before you start taking photos. Please be careful with the camera. Whether you're holding a tablet, a phone, a digital camera, it is not a toy. It's very fragile, so you need to make sure you're really, really careful. And if you feel like you might drop it, then make sure you rest it down on a surface so that you don't drop it. Be really, really careful. Focus. So as I said, if you're using a digital camera like this one, you might want to press the button halfway so that your image is clear before you press the button down. Keep the camera level and steady, so try not to wobble it. Make sure your subject is well lit, so the subject is what you're taking the photograph of. Have the subject off center might be quite effective. So if you want to take a photograph of a vase of flowers, for example, that might be over to the left-hand side. You may want to try and angle it to make an artistic shot. And also just take lots of photos, experiment, take as many as you want, because then at the end, you can review those photos and delete the photos that you don't like. Okay. So I want you to try and follow these steps when you're taking your photographs today. And finally, your challenge. So once you've taken all of your photographs, again, you can take as many as you like. I want you to look through your photographs and don't keep all of them. Delete the photographs you don't like. So decide what is it you don't like about it or what is it you like about it. There might be some pictures you take that are blurry or not in focus, which are ones you may want to delete. Now, once you've deleted the photographs you don't like, I'd like you to look at the photographs that you've taken and review those and think about what you like about those photographs. Almost do a bit of a checklist in your mind. Have you tried to follow as many of these steps as you can? Okay. Now, most importantly, I want you to just have fun with this today. Just have fun exploring with your camera, taking some photographs. I'm sure all of you are going to really, really enjoy going around and being photographers. So enjoy it. Have a really super afternoon, and I'll see you again tomorrow morning for some more morning fluency. Goodbye, Year 2.